Hello, everyone. How are we all going? Great to have you at our latest Business Intelligence Summit. I've started things a minute or so early, so we can just hold for a little bit while everyone joins, but I can already see a really great crowd. So we're expecting, well, first of all, this summit is amazing. The presenters we have are incredible. So really excited to obviously kick things off and get a lot of our other speakers to present to you over the next few days, because I'm convinced that you'll get so much out of it. You'll learn so many little techniques, little things that you can replicate in your own environments. So that's what we're all about. We want to empower that high quality development, that high quality implementation of Power BI, and I think by participating in this event, I think we'll go a long way to do that. So really excited to get into things. So I'm just checking the chat to my right here. So why don't we kick things off? If you want to just give a bit of a shout out on the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm obviously tuning in from Auckland, but I'm keen to see where everyone's from. We obviously, every summit we have, we always have such an amazing collection of of participants from around the world, and what we've really done in the last few summits is we've changed things up. Like, not only have we're able to get a lot of our community together, but also we're bringing together a whole range of the whole range of experts and quality users of Power BI and the Power Platform, and we're able to be able to facilitate sessions at different time zones. So hopefully some of these really align well with time that you have free, so that you can actually attend some of them live. But for those who have access to our platform, they also will be available on there as well with replays, resources, etc. Okay. Great, thank you all for joining. Yeah, awesome. I can see the numbers are really great. We've had over or very close to 2,000 register for this event, so fantastic numbers. I can understand. As you can understand, it takes a lot to put these together, and I'm really proud of my team for the efforts that went into actually collecting all of these amazing speakers and organizing everything that goes with the event. And so, really just sit back and enjoy it and get as much as you can out of it. Thank you also to those who are tuning in from odd time zones. I know that if you're in Europe or Africa or maybe even some parts of South America, it can be a little bit tricky, or even in Asia too. So, but as I say, we've got sessions for you at all different time zones throughout all the next 3 days, right? So we've got, I think, about 20 odd sessions, so plenty of things to cover, plenty of things that we're covering for you all. Okay, now how I want to run my session. Okay, so today I'm excited to go into Enterprise DNA's revised framework around Power BI development specifically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tell you a little bit of a story and a little bit about what we're seeing out there with a lot of our users and a lot of our customers. And I really want to sort of paint a picture first, and then show you why we've revised our framework for developing inside of Power BI. I think setting that scene will showcase why we think the way we do, and why we will start to frame a lot of our skill development, content, and resources, etc., around this revised framework. A lot of you know, in the past we've had this 4-pillar framework. We've just slightly revised it, and I want to tell you why. I want to tell you a story as to why we've done that. Feel free to ask any questions as we go. I plan to maybe for 15 to 20 minutes or so just run through a bit of a presentation that I've set up for today. And then I want to showcase, how these ideas can be done in practice, or at least with the time left to showcase a lot of the features that we're talking about, and maybe give a little bit more justification as to why we're thinking the way we do around Power BI development. Also, I want to take the time to showcase our new platform, which really aligns with the new enterprise DNA way, is what we call it. And so show you a range of different features there. Maybe you've heard from me or my team in the recent weeks that we're moving to a brand new offering, a brand new platform called On Demand, and I want to just showcase that a little bit more as well. Okay, cool, awesome. Thank you all. I'm just having a look at the chat here. Thank you all for your messages. Really great to see you all, and a lot of regulars and newbies as well. So that's really great. Now, feel free, if you've got any questions, please add them to the chat. Happy to divert at any time, particularly when I'm talking through a lot of my points coming shortly, because I think a lot of them might resonate with you as well. I really do. You know, a lot of our frameworks, our methodologies, our content, even, it really stems from our relationships with our users, you guys, and also our corporate customers. And, you know, I think a lot of these will probably resonate with you as well. And I'm happy to and really keen to keep the conversation going around some of these key points. Cool. Okay. So why don't I kick into it? I think that's probably enough for me. Just one thing I will highlight, actually, just before we get going, is that replays will be made available to those who have access to our new platform, right? So you've got to have a subscription if you want to watch any replays or download any of the resources that we cover throughout this summit. Okay. Obviously, live is completely free, so that's absolutely fine. But a subscription is required for anything that's not live. If you want to check out our new platform and get a subscription, just jump to our website. We've got a really awesome sale on that will be happening all this week and most likely next week, I would say, because we want to get as many of you experiencing that as we possibly can. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my presentation now. So just give me a second. I just want to double check this actually flows through nicely. Cool. Okay, so hopefully you can see that it looks okay on my screen. So just give me a shout if there's any issues. Okay, so as I say, I want to just take a bit of time here to walk through a bit of a story. Okay, this is a story that I've and the team at Enterprise DNA have really been, elements of it have been hearing. We've been hearing about it over and over again. Okay, and to be honest, there's a lot of challenges that are happening right now with Power BI. Even though Power BI has been around for a long time now, we're seeing even, say, like what you would term mature deployments of Power BI or mature Power BI reports are facing a range of challenges. And I want to talk through those challenges first, and then we will discuss our framework and how we think there are solutions to a lot of these challenges. Okay. So there's a few parts to this. Now, the first part I want to touch on is data architecture. Okay. So these are some of the challenges we're seeing, and I'll elaborate a little bit as I walk through some of these and the reason why I think they have become challenges. Okay, but in terms of just like data architecture or organizing all of the data sources that you have within your teams or within your organizations, there's generally no central planning across teams with Power BI. There's duplications of what we call data pipelines, neglect in optimizing Power BI workspaces and workspace design. There's usually an overwhelming amount of workspaces, and a lot of users are not utilizing all the features of the online service, including data flows, data sets. Data marts is a new one, and apps. So I can understand the data marts part, but data flows and data sets and apps, they're not being utilized as much as what we think they should. Now, maybe some of these, I would almost be 100% confident that there is this scenario or what I'm highlighting here has or does pose challenges in your own environments right now. Now, the biggest reason for that, I believe, is because of a lot of the features that just haven't been around for that long, right? So if you started building out your Power BI deployment, say 4 years ago or 5 years ago, you've unfortunately not had a lot of these enterprise features that are now available, that have sort of come on stream in the last 18 to 24 months. And so what's happened is you just have a lot of disorganization around how you've actually deployed Power BI. There's generally no planning. There's a lot of data being sourced multiple times throughout different teams in the organization. Workspaces have proliferated without any optimization, so on and so forth, right? So I obviously won't repeat myself, but these are the sort of things now that have become so challenging that they need to be addressed. They need to be addressed more than they ever have before. And the great thing is there are some features, a lot of these ones that aren't being utilized enough, in my opinion, that can solve it. So we'll go into those a little bit more. Okay. My next challenge that I'm seeing is in this evaluating, loading, and transforming data part of Power BI. So queries are taking far too long in a lot of cases, querying way too much data, not refining the data at its source where necessary, creating too complex transformations which slow down data uploads tremendously, and not following best practices to make data models simpler, right? So maybe you've come across or developed a model that takes half an hour to upload or to refresh data. Maybe your model is incredibly complicated because you're downloading too much data. These are things that we're seeing over and over again, and there's some best practices, there's some methodologies that we think now that you should be using wherever possible to solve these. Okay. Next one, data modeling. So easily data modeling, in my experience, is the one area where most people get the most overwhelmed, right? It's a new concept to a lot of us. A lot of us have moved from, say, Excel or other data and analysis tools. So what we find is I'm seeing overcomplicated models, far too overcomplicated models, far too many tables in Power BI desktop files. I mean, I've opened up Power BI desktop files or been shown them that have about 50 tables in them, which is just insane. It's absolutely crazy and so unnecessary. Incorrect relationships, see this all the time. Not keeping your relationships simple, like overcomplicating them with many relationships, so on and so forth. Complete overwhelm for users and no scale to data model development. So whilst the data model can be confusing for one person, when you actually bring in new users or new developers and the model is complex, just complete overwhelm, just absolutely brings no scale to what you're doing internally. No common best practices followed across developers, and it makes analysis with DAX far more difficult because there's so much complexity in the model. And so I go on about this all the time now, and so does I know Brian does, who's on the call. Is that DAX should not be difficult. It should actually not be difficult, but the reason it is difficult in a lot of cases is because the data model is so overwhelming. It's so complicated. And so there's some tips that I'm going to cover that will really help you there. Okay, DAX calculations. Common thinking is that everything should be solved with DAX. So this flows on from what I just said. There is absolutely no reason why DAX has to be the one thing that solves everything for you. It is just one element of this bigger framework to developing high quality models. Okay, DAX is important, no doubt about it, but it can be simple. It can be done faster. It can be more intuitive. And there's a range of different things you've got to do up and down the Power BI stack to actually make that happen. But that's what you should be aiming for. There's no common best practice framework to writing formulas. So everyone's just off writing their own formulas and their own style and their own formatting. Not using measure branching, which is a technique that we've come up with internally, which simplifies your formulas. Slow formulas, bad organization of formulas, little to no continuity around models due to unnecessarily complex formulas. So many formulas I see are so complex, but could be solved so easily if you just change something in the model. incorrect calculations and analysis, and difficulty in auditing analysis. Okay, last one. I'm almost at the end of my story. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat as I'm working through this, and I'll jump to your thoughts in a second. Are any of these resonating? Are any of these things that you're seeing, that you're experiencing? I want to know this. You know, we've developed these from our own conversations, but I want to get reassurance that, or I want to get confirmation from you that that this is a common story. Okay, last one, and this one, reports and visualization design, is almost the most forgotten. It is almost the most forgotten one. You know, a lot of us, or a lot of users out there, think they can do everything up to here and be done, but that's not in our view right. You need to do this part really well. Okay. No standards with report design. So everyone's off designing their own reports. They look completely different. There's no consistency. Incorrect and inconsistent colors and report themes. Poor storytelling techniques being used. Not taking into account the main consumers of reports and analysis. You know, developers are just developing for themselves. Taking too long to create quality and meaningful reports, and not using best practice techniques and features, including bookmarks, filters, and selections. Okay, so these are just the most common challenges, or most common issues we see. I'm sure there's a lot of other smaller ones, but yeah, these are pretty big. If you forget this part, you basically ruin everything you do before here. And so that is why we need to get things right here. Follow some best practice frameworks, and that's something that we've thought a lot about and are trying to solve in a few different ways. Okay, so got some good, great. Okay, thanks, Helen. That's always positive. Yep. Okay, so the overall from the comments so far. Yep. Okay, so look, I think it is Luann, the DAX everything mentality. You know, there's a few reasons why this is the case, right? And you know, the biggest reason why I think there is such a mentality of DAX solves everything in Power BI is because it is the most easily searchable topic in a place like Google, which is where a lot of people default to when they're trying to learn Power BI, right? They either default to Google or YouTube. It's so much easier to type in calculate or filter and then feel like you get an answer rather than some best practice data modeling technique, right? So that is my one big reason, right? And a lot of the work out there that's been done around Power BI, you know, everyone's, you know, a lot of us who want to, a lot of those online who are trying to build an audience and trying to get impressions, etc. You know, you really target the keywords that people are searching for, and so it's this, you know, it's this compounding effect where that's what people search for, so that's what people create content on. But the reality is that there's more to it. There's far more to it with Power BI, and it's upon us at Enterprise DNA to really try and embed this framework, embed our Enterprise DNA way to showcase, okay, this is how you do it, right? You've got to do it in combination with various other parts of your Power BI development. Okay. Mudassir, thanks for chiming in. DAX should be simple. The problem is that people have been misguided that DAX is Power BI, which is not true at all. Yeah. So yep, totally right. That is so true, and we have to change that. We have to change that, and this is our way of doing it. The Enterprise DNA, we want this to become, you know, world famous in terms of high quality Power BI report development and deployment. So it's not like these ideas are not just about an individual developing a report. They are partly that, but it's also about how do you scale a deployment, scale an implementation of Power BI so that it is effective for the long term. Okay. Okay, so that's my story, right? That's my story, and from the little guidance from the chat, it feels like, you know, some of these are resonating, which I think is, well, it's good. You know, the first thing you need to do when you're trying to change behavior is recognize what the challenges are, what the issues are, right? And you know, I think this goes a long way to do that. Okay. Oh, sorry, there's one more. Apologies. This is I've forgotten my own framework. So okay, last one is insights, distribution, and governance. Okay, so this is a key this is a key element to, I would call, like an enterprise implementation of Power BI. Okay, so reporting and data silos still so common. They're so common in Excel, and they're creeping into Power BI as well. And we want to try and stop that. Not aware of all the consumer features available, poor data security, data refreshing capabilities not being utilized, duplication of reports and insights, and poor organization around workspaces and those accessibility for workspaces. Okay, so this is again a non-obvious thing, but when done well can enhance the effect, incredible in an incredible way, can really enhance the value you extract from your Power BI activities. Because if you can be more immersed in a scalable way in your data, it can transform what you do. And I truly feel like Power BI is that immersive tool that can change the way you make decisions, you take actions in your business. And then when you combine it with the Power Platform as well, I mean, you can basically automate so many things off the back of that as well. It's quite transformational. So this is the final part. This is the final piece of the puzzle. Okay, so that's that. Now I want to jump in. I laid out that story in a specific way for a reason. Okay, because those challenges have they've really driven our new framework for developing inside of Power BI. And I just want to basically summarize what that framework is and highlight how we will construct a lot of our skill development, content, resources, events, everything will be structured around this framework, this methodology. And I think the wider that we can make this methodology known in the entire Power BI community, the better off we will all be from an individual perspective, but also from our team, within our teams and within an organization. Okay, so we had the 4-pillar framework, and now we've expanded it to the 6-pillar Power BI framework. Okay, maybe we can come up with a better name there, but I think we want it to be known as the enterprise DNA way, the eDNA way. Okay, we've had so many discussions about this internally. What is the framework for the most effective Power BI development and implementation? And this is it. This is absolutely it. We're convinced that this is it. So it's broken down into 6 key pillars, and the story that I went through just before, that was broken down into these, all of those challenges were segmented into these areas, right? And so, first pillar, data architecture. Second pillar, evaluating, loading, and transforming data. Third pillar, data modeling. I look at this first section, and the concept that I come up with is what I call simplify. Okay, so we have to create and work through a number of different methodologies and strategies to really simplify all of these areas as much as we can. Okay, so that's from workspace design, using data flows extensively, using data marts once it becomes a mature product, making sure that we organize our workspaces, by functional group or by subgroups within our organization. So on and so forth. It's just these little things, right? We've got to simplify those as much as we possibly can. Same with evaluating, loading, and transforming data. We've got to simplify the querying of our data, simplify our transformations, try and push the optimizations as far upstream as we possibly can, like to the source, right? Do better SQL queries if necessary. Organize our raw data sources better. Simplify that as much as possible. Data modeling, same thing. Simplify. I mean, I've been saying this on data modeling specifically for years, and I still get shivers when I look at some data models. Honestly, we need to simplify our data models like crazy. And what you will find, and what I will hopefully will be able to showcase in a bit, is that This can be made a lot simpler if you make this simpler. That's the reality, right? If you make your workspaces simpler and then you use all the great workspace features and you make the evaluating and Power Query aspect of your report development simpler, then your data model becomes simpler. So it layers one on top of the other. This is us building the foundation. This is us building the foundation of our our wider deployment of Power BI. Okay. So the thing I want you to take away with these first three pillars is simplify. That's the big concept I want you to have a think about. Okay. Then pillar 4 is DAX calculations. Okay. So you see here, DAX is just one of 6 pillars. And to me, that's the sort of weighting it deserves in terms of your Power BI development, right? It is only 1/6 of what we are doing with Power BI. Okay. And the 5th pillar is reports and visualization design. Okay, so the way I've brought these 2 pillars together, and the concept that I'm trying to think about with these is automate. Okay, we want to try and automate as much as we can around DAX and reports and visualizations. I've actually showcased in recent times a few ideas around how to do this with DAX calculations and reports and visualizations. We recently had what we call the Innovation Labs. It was a couple of weeks ago, and that is our event that we talk about all of our latest and greatest innovations. And at that event, I showcased really extensive theming, how you can use design packs to basically automate all of your reports and visualizations, like totally automate that. And then you can use the Analyst Hub to automate a lot of your DAX calculations. So automate. Using tools and techniques to automate these 2 key pillars. Okay. In my last session of this summit, I'm going to show you how I can develop the fastest report anyone's ever developed, like fastest high quality report anyone has ever developed ever, utilizing a lot of the tools and techniques that you can use in this particular area. Right. So definitely check out my last session of the summit. Like within an hour, I will develop a comprehensive report that would take most people days. Okay, so using our framework and what goes into these particular 2 pillars. Okay, and the last pillar is insights, distribution, and governance, right? And my concept here is immersion. So it's like a philosophy and requires execution. Okay, so with the tools that we have available within the online service, within mobile applications, within Microsoft Teams, within everything else that Power BI and the Microsoft team are developing, we can truly be immersed in our data. We can be one click away or a couple of clicks away from basically finding out anything if we execute on everything up to this point well, and we utilize all of the great features we have available to us with Power BI. Okay, so that's it. This is it. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts at this point. Okay. I want to showcase this particular visual. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of. Maybe you can't see me if I do that. Yeah. Okay. I'll change this for a second. But let me know your thoughts at this point. So we've got a point here. With this framework, the data architecture and data modeling seems all that could be done without Azure Synapse Data Factory, regardless of the data size. That is actually a really good point. And to be honest, I'm leaning towards the vast majority. And look, to be honest, I think Power BI are going in this direction. And what confirms this to me is one, data marts, and also something else I read about their roadmap. I think that the Power BI team are trying to bring as much as possible around anything to do with data management, from the database layer, from the ETL layer to the analysis layer, the visualization layer. They're trying to bring it all into the Power BI experience. So the reality is, unless you are an enormous corporate, you can manage a lot of your entire data stack within the Power BI experience. You absolutely can. If you're a small to medium sized business, to be honest, like I don't even think you need to use Azure that much, if at all. For example, I mean, we do a lot of analysis ourselves. We don't use Azure. we are currently using everything in the Power BI experience. We're using data flows like a quasi database layer slash like ETL data pipelines layer, right? And then we're building on top of those, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how much you can do just within Power BI now. And data marts is, what a data mart is basically it is basically an Azure data warehouse inside of Power BI. That's really what it is. They have repurposed the technology behind Azure data warehouses or databases, and they've plonked it into Power BI. And so I also know that there's something coming soon around streaming data, which can be completely done inside of Power BI. So I think this is the way that things are going. So Nico, yes, they are in the on-demand platform. Okay, not sure about that one. Okay, cool. So yeah, please add your thoughts in the chat. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts. And to me, when I even look at where the future of Power BI is going, I think that this is becoming even more relevant. Like, it's going to become more and more relevant, this framework, right? We can do so much of what we need within Power BI. We don't need to go anywhere else. We can literally use all of the features that Power BI are embedding into the product, and we can absolutely transform everything we're doing with data, from data management to data transformation to data modeling, analysis, visualization, distribution. It will all be done just within Power BI, right? Okay, so let's just quickly whiz through why this framework. I've touched on a lot of these, so I might skip some of these things. But why I think that this helps, like the enterprise DNA way, helps solve all of the current Power BI challenges we're seeing. Okay, so data architecture, best practices. So we've got I'm not within each of these different parts. We've got like specific strategies and frameworks and methodologies. So I will expand on some and maybe glance over a few, but a lot of them are just having best practices, right? Best practices in data architecture for workspace organization and design, for using data flows, data sets, data marts, apps, and a term that I like to use a lot is data pipelines. And also a lot of data architecture is actually planning out your end reports you want, right? So think about what you want at the end before you even before you architect things. That's really, really important. Evaluating, loading, and transforming data, best practices for planning for the data model and optimizing your tables, organizing the query editor, Power Query. So, you want the Power Query editor to be, very, very intuitive and easy to understand. Still, like, I'll go into a model and I will have absolutely no idea what is going on because it is disorganized and there's like 20 tables and they're not in folders and they're named incorrectly, so just things like that. You've got to do those things really well. They're small things, but they make a big difference. Managing multiple different data sources effectively. Okay, that's also important because we're bringing data from these days from everywhere. Online tools, SaaS tools, from SharePoint files to OneDrive files to things that are on your desktops. So it's about managing that well. Data modeling, best practices for simplifying your models, bringing more scale to your model development, simple techniques for relationships between tables, optimization tips, building models for a diverse range of data scenarios. So understanding how to utilize the techniques and put them into a marketing scenario, a finance scenario. DAX calculations. So a lot of best practices for simplifying formulas. Measure branching, speed to insights, using online tools for faster formula creation. Namely, I'm talking about the Analyst Hub here, our own tool that our users and subscribers have access to. Extensively using DAX formula patterns to really speed up your high-level analysis. Optimizing your advanced formulas. We've got some great tools for that as well. The DAX Editor Pro is one in particular, one of our external tools, and having formula standards. Okay, final two here, report design. So reports and visualizations, report design, best practices, comprehensive theming. I mentioned that earlier. Report navigation, application-like development. So even just look at this example here. We're really big on this application-like type development, and I think that's what you should be aiming for. I've actually discussed that many times over the last couple of years, but you can see from the submissions on our challenges even that this is becoming more embedded into a lot of development, which I'm really, really happy with. But we're building applications here with Power BI, right? We're building reporting applications, and that's what we want to be aiming for with the designs and navigations in our reports. Utilizing the enhanced reporting features like bookmarks, selections, so on and so forth. Automation techniques for report development. So how do you create these things fast? That's the goal, right? Really high quality, but also fast. Internal standards for report designs, just having consistency and telling compelling stories with data. Okay, last one here is best insights distribution and governance. So best practices around distributing insights to consumers and key stakeholders, developing data literacy within teams. So this is actually another big one that has become more relevant in our eyes in recent times, is that you've got a much wider consumer base than you do developer base within most organizations, and you've got to make sure that everyone around those who isn't a developer is comfortable in the Power BI experience, is data literate, is able to comprehend and take the right actions based on data. And so that's that's a new one for us, a new priority, and something that we've got a few ideas on as well. And managing security. So there's a lot of new and great features inside the online service, and it's just understanding which ones are available and using them where necessary. Cool. Okay, so who we are, the ultimate, with this framework and with our online platform, which I want to show you shortly. We are in our eyes trying to and very close to developing the ultimate empowerment partner and platform for Power BI and Power Platform users globally, right? And I want to thank all those who've been on this journey with us up to this point, but we're continuing to really invest in our platform, in our methodology, in our team, and we want to keep striving for this. And so really looking forward to many more of you on the call and at the summit joining us in the near future as well. Okay, any questions at this point, team? Because I'm going to switch over and highlight a few things in our platform. If not, okay. So a couple of things that I think are good to would be good to cover here. So currently our workspace config seems to be a mess with a workspace for test, dev, and prod for each project. Okay, so really, I love it. I don't want to laugh, but I kind of have to, because one of like, even though I'm going on about how amazing Power BI is and how good a lot of these features are, the one feature that I think is absolutely terrible is deployment pipelines, which is what Ard is sort of describing here. I just think this has been so poorly executed and is just absolutely pointless to use. I think whilst you think that you're getting some benefit, you're actually detracting from the overall experience in your workspaces, because it just is destroying this particular area. It's creating so much disorganization in this area. So to be honest, I do not even recommend using this at this point in time. I just think it is hopeless. So sorry to talk some home truths there, but that's my personal view. Hopefully, I think there's some simple things that they can do to enhance it, which they probably could easily do. So hopefully they're getting similar feedback. But yeah, really hopelessly executed feature, that one at the moment. I like the idea though. The idea is right. The execution's horrible. Question here. How can Enterprise DNA help with financial reporting? Well, we've got a ton of content on that. Definitely check it out within our platform. There's a ton of financial reporting content all within our new platform here. Thank you, Alejandra. That's really appreciate that. It's great. Cool. Okay. So thank you everyone for your support. Yeah, if you want to throw the video a like, that would be great. We aren't, to be honest, making a lot of these replays available extensively online. They're just going to be for our subscribers and for our users. We really want to showcase and continue to value our paying users as much as we can. So so a lot of the replays now will be just inside of our new platform here. Okay, so how does our framework match out to our innovation and investment in our platform? Okay, so as we've developed our new sort of methodology and framework around Power BI development, we've also been at the same time making huge investments in our new platform. Okay, so what I'm showcasing here right now is basically Enterprise DNA on demand, our new offering and our brand new platform. A lot of you will remember our old one. We were always very proud of the amount of content and resources and the features that we had built around our offering, but we knew that improvements needed to be made to the experience, to the digital experience, and that really started off our decision to do a full upgrade, a full refresh, a full redesign of everything around the experience for our users. And this is what we've created. This is our baby, our new baby, Enterprise DNA and our new user experience for all of our subscribers and users of our platform. Now, the one biggest thing that we have created here that I think really takes us to another level is the customization. We are able to customize your entire experience individually through our platform and through the enhancements that we've made to our platform. So, we've got so much content, more than anyone, so many resources, so many events and replays and live events, etc. We've got so many great aspects, Analyst Hub. And our goal is to simplify that down for you as an individual, so you are seeing the content which is relevant to you so that you can reach your goals. And that could also be extended to your team's goals as well. And so how we do that, how we are doing that and within the back end of our system is through what we're calling our learning plan. Okay. And so when you first log into here, we put up a notification that says, please set up your learning plan. Okay. And then you'll always have this area which has your embedded learning plan in it now. Okay. And you walk through a survey, and then everything post that point, all of the courses and the order in which we recommend you to work through them, they will be within your learning plan. Okay. And then you can, from here, you have a lot of flexibility to adjust this however you like. You can add additional courses, you can take out, you can delete courses. Yeah, you've got a lot of versatility here. The other thing around this tailoring to you is that we can track how you're progressing now, and we're getting a ton of great feedback on this already, which I'm really happy with. Right, we can track what's the skills that you tell us you want to learn. We can track how you're working through all of our content which is related to that skill, all of the content that is related to that tool, all of the content which is related to that particular path that you want to finish, that you want to master. Okay. And then we've got overall metrics. We've also got a new points mechanism within our in our platform that you can collect points as you work through it as well. Cool. So that's how we customize. Okay, this to me is the biggest part of what we've updated, and what I'm personally sort of most happy with and most proud of is that now we can continue to add as much content as we like, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to double the amount of content we have within the next sort of 12 to 18 months. But still, it will be really simplified down to what is important to you, what is important to what you want to learn, and what goals you have around your skill development and also empowerment around Power BI and increasingly Power Platform as well. Just one thing on our platform, just to give you a bit of a timeline, is that we are kind of in a transition phase. All of our paid users can use this. All of our subscribers right now can utilize our platform. We've set up login credentials for you already. All you need to do is basically go to our homepage and navigate to here, right? It's all explained there. For all of our free users, there will be a free plan within our platform. It will obviously not, will have very limited amount of content that you can watch and download, etc. But there still will be a free tier. That is happening within the next week or two. We'll transition literally everyone over to here, and this will be the platform you access everything to do with us and with our content, etc. will be based in here. Okay. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback. That really appreciate it. Yeah. To be honest, like I'm the feedback overall has been really good over the past couple of weeks. So thank you to everyone who's sent thoughts and recommendations through. We've got a long list of things we still want to do, and this is, we're going to continue to enhance for a long time. A lot of aspects of here, some small things, some big things, but we've got a really solid foundation now, and we can really take it to another level very quickly, I feel. I can maybe walk through. I do want to walk through some of those things, some of those enhancements that we are working on, like right now, actually, even right now. Some small, as I say, some little things that you've given feedback on, but some big things that we think are going to enable us to empower you around our framework better than we've ever done before. And so really excited about that. A couple other really cool features, okay, that I want to just highlight. One of them is our search functionality. Okay, we've taken our search functionality to another level, right? You can search for anything on our platform just through the search bar, which is located here. It basically will bring up everything that is relevant. So, for example, we can type in something like, let's go iterating function, something like that. I'll type in iterating, and you'll have come up here all of the things that reference iterating functions or iterating, right? And also one of these great features, one of the great things here is we can also search bookmarks, which is something that you can all do individually now. You can put bookmarks throughout videos covering any specific part of a video, and it will be indexed and searchable to you personally at any time. Okay, so you can type in iterating. You can type in. I was actually doing a few of these. I was doing a few of these yesterday. I'm just trying to think what I actually. I'm trying to think what I actually bookmarked. Go like a Power Query or something. Power Query. So you can type in Power Query, and then that'll give you. Well, I've got a lot of. See here, I've got a lot of bookmarks on Power Query. There's also a lot of courses that reference Power Query labs. Obviously, Power Query is a very popular keyword, right? So another great feature here, which I'll show you, is that you can also type in our presenters' names and find out all of the content specific to that presenter. So Melissa's a very popular content creator for us because she's like out of this world awesome, and is also presenting at this summit, I do believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I think she is. Anyway, she you can find all of her content really quickly. If you want to type in Brian, you can type in Brian's name and all of his content. See, I've got a lot of bookmarks, Brian stuff. You can find his content here. So, for example, out of all of our virtual events, you can quickly see all of the ones that Brian has done, right? So that is far easier now. So date table, I've got that message. Got a message from Keith. Type in date table, and you'll find here that even our resource files are referenced here, right? So you can quickly click on extended date table cheat sheet, and there you go. You can find it really, really quickly. Okay, so everything is searchable, everything is indexed, and even your bookmarks, right, are totally indexed. Now, I'll show you something. So I was looking at a presentation recently on the icon map, and I created a bookmark. And I'll show you what we can do with our bookmarks. So I clicked on, I created a bookmark in this particular video. It was actually a historic webinar from our last summit, reporting and data visualization summit. And you'll see here, I can click watch for my bookmark,
circles
and it takes me to that exact point in the video that I have bookmarked, right? And so you can then, now you can collect all of these bookmarks within your environment and go and quickly reference formulas, techniques, anything, right? Very, very quickly. So that, you know, if you've had any experience with our past platform, that really takes it to another level. Conditional formatting was another one. I think did I make a bookmark? No, I didn't. But you know, conditional formatting, there's a lot of great techniques with conditional formatting. This one here, advanced conditional formatting with DAX, was by Brian, I believe. Was an amazing session. I watched it. I watched parts of it the other day. Yeah, this one's from Brian. And so, you know, you can highlight a range of different techniques there. One was, you know, colorblind colors. One was how to create little icon GIFs, I think. Yeah, whole range of great stuff. Anyway, the data discovery, that's the big thing there. The data discovery is just so much better now. And we're also tracking. We're tracking all of the content you're watching, right? You can collect points. We showcase when you've finished particular sessions or workshops. You know, everything is we are calculating everything in the background, so you can keep track of how you're going. One of the enhancement features we're going to make soon as well is that we're actually going to have a bookmark section. So we'll literally have a bookmarks area, which will enable you to manage all of your bookmarks, right? So you'll be able to manage them, maybe put them in folders. You'll also be able to share bookmarks within your team of users. Say you've joined the platform as a team. So I think that's going to be a real cool enhancement that we can work on shortly. What else? So learning paths, you'll see here that we've embedded some new learning paths. I'll just whiz through some of these things. You can check out all of our courses in here. You can see which courses in your plan, which isn't. So you can manipulate your learning plan very easily from this page here. We've got a whole section on what we're calling labs now. And so a lot of these were from our mini series tutorials, but we're just breaking them out, making them a lot easier to search and to reference. So say, for instance, you want to really drill into calculation groups. Mudassir has created some great content on that. You can click on this, and then you can see all of our content on calculation groups very, very quickly and easily. Start the lab and see all of that specific content. You can also obviously come up here and you can search. You can search for it very easily as well. Calculation groups, and you'll see that that comes up in the lab section, and you can very quickly click to that particular area of the platform. So what do you think? What do you think about, you know, I think we've improved our content discovery by about 10x. It is just so much better than what we've had before. And I think, you know, again, it's a really solid foundation for how we can continue to you know, enhance your own personal experience. I think, you know, a bookmarks page, also shareable bookmarks. Those are some really good enhancement ideas as well. Okay, our resource center, our showcase area has been enhanced significantly as well. Every report that we develop and make open source internally, every great report from our challenges, we've got to make them available on the platform. This is going to grow considerably in the coming months and years. We've got tens to almost 100 reports that will go on here before the end of the year, I would say, as well. And so you can come in here, find any report that you like, you can add it to your collection, and then you can collect, you know, within your form, you can collect the ones that you dislike and reference those very quickly at any time. We've got a data library, a new data library as well for practice. This is another great feature that is requested, has been requested many times. And then we've got our virtual events. So all of our historic webinars, including this event, every specific webinar is going to be searchable, easy to find. You can place bookmarks. You'll be able to you know, create highlight packages of different webinars and techniques within each specific webinar. And again, just make it really easy to go and find what you need. And, you know, with our webinars, we've got so much great content, niche content, Zebra BI, icon map, external toolbar creation, so many great, I mean, as you know, from this particular summit, we've got some of the most experienced and expert users of Power BI, Excel, and data professionals that you can find anywhere. Got Oz de Soleil, an absolute celebrity around Excel development. So, you'll be able to very quickly search all of these things and find the content on there. Okay. Cool. Awesome feedback. Now, couple of things that I think are important here to mention. So you see here the Analyst Hub. The Analyst Hub is currently still a separate application. So I think, Nico, this is maybe what you're referring to, but this enables, like, we've got some really cool apps inside of here. The intention is, as soon as we can, to still migrate this completely over into this experience. We're going to totally redevelop it. We're going to make it far more intuitive, far easier to share formulas, share scripts, share anything. But the concept's going to stay the same. So we've got a range of coding tools to save a lot of your code. We've got design and theme generators, and we've got some planning tools down here as well. Okay. So we're going to, continue to have the community area. At the moment, this just exists as a separate application still. It's still very valuable as it is right now. I'll in my final session, I will be really showcasing how I use the Analyst Hub extensively to basically automate my entire DAX development inside of Power BI to make, creating DAX formulas and multiples of DAX formulas really, really quickly, and various other things. This is very usable now as it is, but my point is that we're going to integrate it and enhance it. And so even within this experience, you'll be able to, search on, say, SumX, for example, right? You'll be able to, well, that one didn't work. Let's go filter. You'll be able to type in filter. You'll be able to not only see video content, you'll be able to also search formulas. You'll be able to search community ideas around how to use filter, or maybe even specific explanations from our DAX formula reference guide on filter. So there's going to be any number of ways that we can, enhance the experience around just finding that information as quickly as possible, and also helping, your development, right? Everything that we do to enhance our platform is about empowering this framework, okay? From our content, our resources, our ideas, our tools, our support. It's all about how can we enhance this. And so this is always now in the back of our mind, even when we're looking to enhance features inside here. So am I saying that this will be integrated? Yes, totally integrated. There's just a couple of other things that are a higher priority than this, but we are aiming to do it as soon as we possibly can, like probably within the next couple of months. We will try and get this to be moved across. The other one is the forum, is that we're going to totally integrate the forum as well. So this currently is a separate website. This will also be completely inside of our platform. Okay. So you'll be one click away, like literally from getting support anywhere in the platform. We might even have like a button that says here, get support, and you'll click that, write a thread, and then that will go through to the support forum. So a ton of enhancements still to come. A ton to come. We've also, and as I say, they're all structured around our 6-pillar framework. How we, the enterprise DNA way, everything that we do has got that embedded into it. That thought process and methodology embedded into it. Just a couple of other things that I think maybe from a Teams perspective might be interesting. We also have Teams functionality, like enterprise features for your team. And so this is, this might not be relevant to everyone, but if you want to get others within your team, within your organization, into the platform as well, we've got a way to create an environment just for you as a group. Okay, and we've got a way for you to track everything and the progress of everyone in your team. You can see exactly how everyone is going on particular paths, their learning plan, particular courses. What events they're watching, what labs they're watching, what resources they're downloading, what events they're coming to. We are literally tracking it all, and so it's a way for you to be able to see the overall engagement and make sure that you are reaching your goals as an organization. we also have this really cool assignments functionality as well. So say, for instance, you're a team manager and you want to make sure that your team are setting up their learning plan well, but also they're getting relevant information to, something that is relevant to finance or marketing or something. Maybe there's a new event replay that goes live on our platform from the summit, and you want your users to watch it, to see it. What you can do is you can assign courses, paths, assessments, resources, showcases, events. You can assign anything on the platform to an individual, and they'll get a notification in their learning plan that that they've been assigned, say, this latest event by me about Enterprise DNA's new framework, right? So if they haven't been able to come live, you can make sure that they see it. It's very obvious to them that they should actually watch this particular content. And we can dynamically showcase that, we can dynamically showcase it within someone's learning plan, so they'll get a notification here. Also, we have intentions to basically have pop-ups or have sections within here that say, hey, so-and-so has assigned this particular webinar for you, has assigned this particular assessment to you. We even have intentions to be able to do that as well. So you can, really see the progress and make sure everyone is aligned, right? So, it's all good me telling you about this framework, but for example, but we want everyone in your team to know about this framework, right? And so if we put out content on some optimization strategy or some technique or some new tool that enables you to automate something, we want to make sure that that content gets in front of you, in front of your team, in front of all of our users as quickly as possible. And we're trying to do everything we can to make that happen. Okay. I'm about I think I'm going to round off there. I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to cover. Is there let's do a Q&A. Let's do a Q&A. Thanks Mudasir. That's great. Yeah, look, I feel the same way. I feel like through our significant investment, we're taking our amazing content and asset base that we've developed over time. We're taking it to another level. And to be honest, we're just getting started. We're gonna continue to enhance things as much as possible over the next few years. We're not going to stop until we impact as many or all Power BI and Power Platform users we can around the world. I guess some other big things that we're doing. Other big things we're doing: multilingual. We're going to be completely multilingual. We're going to have new captions and transcriptions on multiple different languages. It might be probably not going to all come out at once, but we're gonna get the structure right within the platform so that you can be watching anything, watching a particular course, watching videos in the course, and you'll be able to get subtitles in any language, but also transcriptions in any language as well. And so I think that will be a massive enhancement. And so that's one of our, I would say, it's top 3 or 4 priorities at the moment. So give us a few months and we'll have that implemented. Maybe even shorter than that. That's a really big one we've got coming down shortly. I'll just check my notebook. Actually, I've got a few other notes. My team knows this. They've seen my list. It's got about 30 line items in it in terms of what we still want to do. But hold on a second. The Analyst Hub and the forum integration. That's I was just laughing at a comment there. Look. So those are multilingual is a true priority. We want it to even I want to get to a place where literally our entire platform, based on what language you want it to be, we will automatically, probably through some AI or something that we implement in the platform, we can almost switch the entire thing over to another language. Like that's my sort of goal. We get a lot of requests from Spanish speakers, Chinese speakers, Portuguese, Russian. So you know, we want to try and facilitate it all if we can. Yeah, a good point actually is that Brian's just mentioned on the chat is that I didn't even go over the coming soon features, that the coming soon page we have as well. So you'll see here this particular course has already been launched. We have this one's been delayed, but that's coming out this week, I believe. The Power Platform certification course. So that is a really exciting development. We are actually developing. I'm not sure if I've made this public yet, but we are developing a brand new learning path that is dedicated, is going to be completely dedicated to Microsoft certifications. So you will see a learning path very soon in the coming months that will be about Microsoft certifications, and we'll have courses on every key Microsoft certification aligned to Power BI and the Power Platform. So I think there's 4. I think there's 4 right now. And so you'll see here that we've got PL 900, PL 300 coming out shortly, PL 100, and PL 400. So as part of, you know, your access to our platform, you will, you know, not only have access to everything else, but we will have a dedicated path and section for you that will be all about, you know, passing your certifications. We'll also be including assessment practice as well, because I know that the certifications, to pass them, you need to get past an assessment. So we'll have some practice exams there as well eventually. So, you know, everything that you could want will be on our platform around that. We're dedicated to doing that. Brian is leading the charge there. So so excited about that. But you'll see here we've got a ton of other content as well. Power BI Embedded by Mudasir is coming out shortly. We've got some Excel content coming out. So we're venturing into Excel in relation to Power BI as well. So I think that's a nice evolution for us as well. Advanced AI features, Power Platform developments, so on and so forth, right? Another one from Melissa, our superstar content creator on Power Query, Power BI, Power Automate Desktop. I think Jarrett would be one of who's an enterprise DNA expert, would be one of the, you know, through trial and error, has become one of the sort of global experts on Power Automate Desktop. It's not actually that easy to use, and so I think he's got a range of great tips that are going to be in this course coming out soon as well. Cool. Brian said also the 500 as well, so maybe 5 courses. Wow, didn't even know that. That's great. So yeah. I think this is coming out like very soon. I think maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe even this week, I think. So yeah, so you can see here that we're dedicated to creating significant amount of content, and we will continue to. We want to create all content around anything to do with the Power BI universe, you know, Power Platform, and you know, even Excel. Right, we've got content on Python, R, SQL. We'll grow that content where necessary and where there's requests and feedback. But you see here, you know, we've got a lot coming, and there'll be even other content around business functions and industries as well that we will intend to do at some point as well. Yeah, I think that's all. I mean, the only other thing I just got on my list here is certificates. So for a lot of you who have been using our platform for a while, you've been able to collect certificates, and so this will continue. And you can collect them within here and then showcase them however you like on social media to your colleagues, etc. You know, this really, you know, provides that proof that you've got that expertise and you've been mastering these skills and techniques from Enterprise DNA. So good question. So I'm happy to just jump to a few questions here to round off. So this is basically, do you have short videos on functions that developers can watch while developing? Yes, that is exactly what our labs intend to do. Okay, so for this particular question, our labs are short form videos on very specific topics. So we've got what-if analysis, cumulative totals, conditional formatting, custom functions. So you see here, this is what the labs area, this is going to grow considerably as well. This is only about 20% of the amount of labs that we've got going in here. So we are building on these very, very quickly. But yes, the idea is that you'll be able to type in anything in the search functionality. You'll see courses, you'll see labs, you'll see events, and you'll see your bookmarks as well. So you can quickly go and reference any part of the video too. So you'll be able to discover in a short space of time a lot of specific content. Because one of the other things that we know is that within our webinars, right, there's a lot of, even though a webinar might be an hour long, there's a lot of 5-minute content within that webinar, which is very valuable, right? And so the idea is that, you can go and create bookmarks. Here's Zebra BI is one of our partners. This is a great, this is all about how do you select the right visualization. And so say there's something like specific that you like about Zebra BI or technique that you need to learn about how to use Zebra BI, you can come in here and type in, create a bookmark. I can go save, and then that is now a bookmark in my account, and then I can now search that really easily and quickly, right? And so this is replicable over, you see here that bookmark now appears straight away in my environment. Okay, thanks for all the comments. Good question, Keith. This is only a week or so away. We're going to migrate all of the data around your certificates. So don't worry, that is going to happen as soon as we possibly can make it happen. This one is no, not specifically, but I'm sure we've got a lot of reports that very easily could be overlaid on any SAP data. Okay, cool. I think we're getting to the end here. Appreciate all the thoughts and feedback, everyone. Okay, look, I will round off, I think. If there's any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to my team or come to additional follow-up sessions. And sorry, I turned off the wrong one. We are going to help out throughout this entire summit across all the different sessions. So we want to make sure that you get the help that you need and you get the value from this from these events that you were looking for. Let me just quickly review some of the other things. I mean, seriously, like, this is such an amazing event. I'm so proud of the team. Our events team who've done a ton of hard work communicating with and building relationships with all of our presenters. And there's some absolute celebrities and some of the global experts that you can take advantage of throughout this next few days. So please do so. And really appreciate your participation in this event and in any of our events. It's always great to see you and have you as part of our community during these workshops and sessions. Cool. Okay. Yep. So thanks for the feedback. So just a reminder that yes, these are all recorded and all the resources are available, but they will be available in our platform, in our new platform here. So you have to sign up. You have to be a subscriber to be able to access any of the replays. Okay. I'm going to round off. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the event, and look forward to seeing you on the very last session of the summit, where I'll be doing a record-breaking report development exercise inside of Power BI. Okay. Take care all. See you soon.